This podcast is for the woman who refuses to settle.
The one who knows she was made for more.
It's for the audacious woman who is ready to burn the ships,
own her story,
and create a life built on radical self-belief.
I'm Amanda Galloway.
I'm Ashton Greer. We are your podcast hosts.
And we welcome you to the Audacity podcast.
Hey.
Hi.
We are on video.
We're on YouTube.
Recording our second YouTube video.
I figured it out.
Yes.
I was
High five
so
up here.
proud of myself.
I had somebody ask
hang our
me.
sign.
We need to put it back up, but it keeps falling down.
We need to get a nail.
We're not always that. I don't know. We're not always on the ball with things like that.
We have too much going on.
We do. We have recorded 31 episodes.
Yeah.
I saw that. Somebody asked me yesterday if I could, she was like, I want to start a podcast. So I printed our little checklist, and I sat down with her for 30 minutes, and she just wanted me to show her the platforms we were on and stuff. And I pulled it up and I was like, oh my gosh, we really actually have 30 some episodes.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had this much to say.
Neither did I, but here we are. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the YouTube part. And there were some things I clipped from last week because I was like, I probably should not say that live. So I will try to be more intentional because if I don't know how to do that transitional part.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll figure it out.
We matched today. But it was not on purpose. So mine is an athletic version and hers is a dressy version.
Yeah. I have some financial appointments today. So I was like, oh, I should probably dress up.
And I'm going to go to the gym today because I've been slacking. Because I've been busy with so much else.
Yeah.
So much going on that it's the one thing that I'm like, well, I guess I won't go to the gym today. I was going to go yesterday. I had blocked out a window of time to go. I was really excited. And then one of my really good friends is going through a breakup. And I saw her and I could just tell. I was like, she needs to talk. So I skipped the gym and I went and got cocktails with her.
You're such a good friend.
Yeah, but I had cocktails and french fries instead of going to the gyms.
Balance.
Yeah. But that's what life's about.
It is. Well, you're a good friend.
And breakups suck.
Breakups do suck.
They're 5 years. They've been together 5 years.
Ugh.
Yeah, 5 years. And it's just heartbreaking.
I hate that.
I hate breakups.
They're the worst.
The worst.
Because you're not only now having to create a new life, everything changes. Your person's no longer there. You're grieving that person they died.
Yeah. And you're
awful.
Especially if you lived together, cohabitated, you're going home and they're they're not there. And you're going to sleep at night and they're not there. And you're waking up in the morning, oh, they're still not here. And it's this cycle for quite a while.
It is.
It's very, very sad.
But then there's this version of you that comes from it that is so empowering. You kind of come out of your shell and it's you shed all that grief and you become so much stronger, so free. And then you kind of see things from a different light of oh, that's why it didn't work out.
Exactly. You just have to get through it.
Yes.
A single Ashton and not single Ashton are very different people.
They are.
They're very different people. And I was thinking about what is that? My energy shifts a lot when I don't have a counterpart. I'm not balanced in that. It's just a wild and free me.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's a fun time. And then
my fiance's worst fear is Ashton being free.
Because of the influence on you. He's Ashton has got to be in a relationship because if she is not, she is going to be pulling Amanda into all kinds of weird stuff. No, I don't know.
I'd be there for it. I'd be respectful of him.
You and I
have fun.
We've never been single at the same time.
No, it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
God would be the world could not handle them.
Maybe we'll be widows at the same time.
Yeah.
And then in the nursing home, we can cause all kinds of trouble.
Oh my gosh. Nursing homes are dramatic.
That's what I'm saying. We could be the nice girls of the nursing home, not the mean girls. So the nice girls.
They can be catty.
We can throw little parties. Have you seen, there's a show. Oh my God, what is it? It's not Yellowstone, but it's like Yellowstone.
Probably not. I'm not a TV person.
There's this woman who's married to a wealthy man. She is in her 50s, probably 40s, 50s. And in her free time, she and her daughter go to the nursing home in town,
Mhm.
and they throw them parties with margaritas, and they get all the old people drunk, and they, like, take the old people to
That
a
seems
strip
like a
club.
life.
It definitely is.
Oh my gosh,
It's
that's funny.
funny, though, very funny.
Oh, that's
We could be
hilarious.
like that.
Yeah. No, I think you get when you're at that point in your life, you really give no shits
Mm-mm.
and it's unhinged, right?
Yeah, I can't wait. I
Yeah.
mean, I obviously don't want to speed up my aging.
Well, you talk about going to the country club and being like playing cards together and stuff like that when we're old, which
Yeah.
I think is a great idea.
Yeah, old and retired, like, we'll just go play bridge all day at the country
Mhm.
club, drink our favorite red
Mhm.
wine. Yeah,
It's a
that's
great
gonna
idea.
happen for sure, but
Yeah. So it's new.
the puppies are getting bigger, and they're now pooping, and it's disgusting.
They were doing that the whole time, right?
No, they don't poop for, like, several days,
Oh, okay.
and then they start pooping and peeing, and now I'm like, "Oh my god, it's gross." And you can't bathe them. You can't bathe them because they can't regulate their own body temperature. So you
Oh.
have to just wipe them with a damp cloth.
Oh.
And then by the time you've like wiped them off and dried them and like you put them back in their like little clean pen, within like 5 hours, it's just shit everywhere again. So I'm dealing with that. That's been fun.
Like you don't have enough on your plate already?
Yeah. Been busy with work, a couple curveballs this week. But because of emotional intelligence, which is what we're going to talk about today, the curveballs don't seem so overwhelming anymore. I get a curveball and I think, "Oh, I've had many curveballs.
Mm,
This'll be fine." So, there's some of that going on. A lot of expenses, like unexpected expenses, a little financial stress.
that's not fun.
No.
But you always figure that out.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing that I love about you is that you'll be like, I'm in this pickle. And then a week later, you're like, oh, I'm like actually abundant and all this is flowing through. And it's
Yeah, it
like,
worked.
it's almost, yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it because I'm like, you go, girl.
Thank you.
You do. You always persevere.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But what about you?
So my kids got back from Switzerland. My fiance's been in Singapore, Malaysia, and now he's in Tokyo.
Amanda has a very exotic life.
He does. I know. Okay, I have to show you live what he ate last night so that you can decide with me if this is the most disgusting thing you've ever seen.
Uh,
I told him he needed to purge this out of his body
he
before he.
ate that?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to show it.
Was it alive?
Oh, I'm gonna try to. Yes, it was moving. I'm trying to show it on screen. I don't know. Is it moving? Is it?
Here, lift it up.
Uh,
Bring it up a little to the
it's
camera.
so
Up
gross.
higher. Yeah, right there. There you go.
It's so gross. It's moving, guys. He needs to purge this out of his
What
body.
is
I
it?
don't know.
Let me see that.
Kind of looks like
It looks big.
it's disgusting.
He ate it while it was alive?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is.
That's really
Okay.
sad.
I know. It's so gross.
How
He
could
ate it
he
as an
do that?
appetizer. Well, he said it's an abulon, which is a Spanish whatever, refers to a group of highly prized edible marine sea snails. It was alive, guys. He also ate like a chicken heart or something while he was over there and something else disgusting. He said horse meat. I am literally like, you are disgusting.
Eating things while they're alive is kind of cruel.
It really is. I think so too. So I don't know. He should probably go see
Ugh.
someone. He probably has a
He
mental disorder.
parasite or something now.
He does have a parasite.
He has a parasite.
Guys, yeah, so I'm disgusted. So that's, but other than that, like everything's going well. I'm
Mm,
so much more energized this week and I'm feeling so much better. I had my labs done and I started taking some vitamins and
good. She was really sleepy for a
I
while.
was struggling. And then I am
How are
starting
you,
my
honey?
hormone replacement therapy, I think next week. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'm so ready for it. And
Cool.
what else is new? I think that's it. I think that's it.
Cool.
So
Cool.
life is trending in a positive direction.
Yeah,
There's moments, guys. There's
you've been
moments
on
where
the
you're
up and
like,
up though.
yeah,
Up and
I
up.
kind of crashed when I got off my anxiety medication.
That's okay.
Deeply crashed.
That's all
So
right. We all, struggle.
I also noticed when I was doing the YouTube that I have horrible posture.
I sit very proper. I've been told so many times I have great posture. I don't know what it is. I just sit, like, really good. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. I'm, like, hunched over all the time. My mom's always like, "Sit up, Amanda." And
I'm gonna start recording like this.
I don't know why I have back issues. I have no idea why. All right, moving on to our topic. So, as Ashton said earlier, we are talking about emotional maturity today. And this is not to say we have it all together. This is a lifelong process of learning,
Mhm.
and it starts with self awareness.
Yeah, emotional, intelligence or emotional maturity, it's like a rite of passage, I
Yeah.
think. And it's not something you're just, like, born with. It's something that is learned and
Yeah.
earned over time and trial and error. Like, "Oh, man, I really overreacted there, and that
Yeah.
caused damage. I'm gonna try not to do that next time," and yeah.
Yeah. So, IQ, you can't change, but EQ, you can.
Yep, exactly.
And that's awesome. And oftentimes I found that the times that I developed the most in EQ is actually through challenging times, through disagreements with a partner or with a friend.
Yeah.
And then the mirror is held up to you, and you're like, oh,
Mhm.
I need to change that about myself.
Yeah.
But that is self awareness. That's reflecting really on how you handle things. And I also think it's a generational thing. I think our generation is becoming a lot better at self awareness. Like, I see my
Yeah.
mom's generation, and sometimes I feel like they never learned
Yeah.
that element, and there's a lot of like, a lot of us had parents who were emotionally immature.
Yeah, that or, like, I see both sides of that with that generation, and I also know people in that generation that are amazing at this, but
Oh, yeah, me too. My mom's great.
I
Mm.
see, like, either they give you the silent treatment and, like, are completely don't know how to deal with emotions,
Mhm.
and so then they just get, like, mad at you, don't communicate, silent treatment, hide, withdraw, punish you with their absence, that sort of emotional immaturity, or the other side of it where it's, like, explosive,
They
reactive.
br
Yes, and
Mhm.
then, like, the damage is done, and then they pretend like everything's fine, like
Yeah.
nothing happened, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, "I'm just gonna unload on you," and then the next day it's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And you're like,
Right.
What? What?"
Well,
Um,
there's also the other side of it where the younger generation are seen as, like, I don't know, I think the word is, like, snowflakes. And so there's this ability to allow people to be expressive, but the
Yeah.
inability for people to regulate their emotions. So it's really a fine balance. So, I mean, this isn't generational by any means. I'm just speaking from
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
extremes that you're going to see it regardless. I mean, if you're listening, you know someone who's emotionally immature and you can pick it out so easily, but I think it's something that you really have to learn and develop throughout the years. I think we all struggle with it.
Yeah. I used to think that I was really emotionally intelligent.
Mm,
Oh, this is, like, in my
yeah.
early 20s, like, over 10 years ago,
Yeah.
decades ago. Because I had a lot of empathy.
Mhm.
So, like, I could feel everyone's feelings, I knew what people were feeling, I knew what they like, in a room, I had this, like guess it's a form of emotional intelligence because I had a lot of empathy for and I could feel other people's feelings. And so I thought that meant I was emotionally intelligent.
Mhm.
And then in getting my degree at college, I took a class, about interpersonal leaderships, like leading yourself. And I had to take this assessment, and I got my results back, and it said that my weaknesses were subjectivity and conflict and
Mhm.
hostility. So when something was really important to me or I was deeply offended by it or um super passionate about it, I would be ineffective in my communication because I couldn't see the other person's perspective.
Mhm.
I was so subjective. It hurt. My feelings were so big, so overwhelming that I couldn't even see their feelings. And then I would have hostility in addressing it because um my opinion or my feelings were so big that I was just like, they're an idiot. How could they not see it this way? And I would be hostile and like mean
Mhm.
in it, which made me really ineffective. Now I can say that 10 years later, I still have this tendency. It's like it's part of my personality, but I'm super self aware of it.
Mhm.
And when I am very heated about something, very angry, I know exactly what to say
Mhm.
to hurt someone. I know exactly what words to say
Yeah.
to like get my point across and be the smarter person and to win the argument, you know? But I've learned through time that that's really emotionally unintelligent because you're not actually going to win a person over or even resolve the issue with hostility and the inability to hear their side of the story, their perspective,
Mhm.
how they feel. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that something I've learned is that having great empathy, which I do have a lot of empathy and feel people's feelings, and emotional intelligence, they can go hand in hand, but they're not the same thing.
Right. Yeah, I used to be the same way. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew what to say to hurt the other person,
Hmm.
but that's not how you get it across, and I think that one of the best lessons Antonio has taught me is putting myself in someone else's shoes and understanding their trauma, their experiences through life, where they're coming from, accepting their feelings, accepting them for who they are, obviously having boundaries and tolerance for, you know, the
Bad
not
behavior.
bad behavior. However, it's finding compassion during the you're not yawning.
I'm so sorry. I have not been getting enough sleep. I had nightmares last night.
She did this last time too. But I think, anyway, getting back to it, I think that it's honoring that person's perspective and seeing where they're coming from that I think helps develop that bridge to gaining more, just healthier relationships. And we self-sabotage and we have horrible relationships because our inability to regulate our emotions.
Yep.
And that is where you're going to see a lot of disconnect in relationships, not just, I mean, I had a friend break up not terribly long ago, and it was because of an emotional reaction. And it could have been something that was, hey, let's sit down and actually talk about this.
Yeah.
And it's really sad to see. And it comes from, unfortunately, a lack of emotional intelligence when you can't be that person to sit down and resolve something that is conflicting.
I'm having so many thoughts
Yeah, I know.
as you're talking through
I
this because it's
actually,
such a broad topic.
yeah, I wrote
But
down some ideas.
but I but I want to say this.
Uh-huh.
When someone disagrees with you, an emotionally immature person will think that person doesn't like me.
Mhm.
We're not compatible. They don't like me. I'm going to, fight with them or whatever. What
Sorry.
Jeez. What I have learned is that if someone disagrees with me, it's an opportunity maybe to learn from them,
Mhm.
to disagree respectfully.
Mhm.
There's a way that somebody can disagree with me and I come away with it with more respect for them or
Yeah.
they for me because we disagreed respectfully. Um, and it's not a personal attack. Like say Amanda really thinks that um abortion should be legal.
Mhm.
And I'm really like pro life and I
Mhm.
don't think it should be legal. Now I could villainize Amanda and be like, she's a terrible person for wanting this and, create this story around her.
Mhm.
And she could do the same to me. She could be like, this woman doesn't care about women's rights. She doesn't care about women's freedom. What about the women that get raped? And,
Mhm.
we can make it a huge thing.
Right.
This is all unreal, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a scenario, but um we could make it a huge thing and make the other person a villain for disagreeing with us. And people do this all the time
Mhm.
to other people, all the time. You see it in politics, you see it everywhere. Instead of recognizing that people have different sets of values because of their lived experiences. And our experiences shape our beliefs. And so if somebody disagrees with you, they probably just have a very different experience in life.
Mm.
It's
And that's okay.
and that's okay. And we don't have to try to change everybody's minds and we don't have to try to be, you know, aggressive and hostile social justice warriors. We can communicate much more effectively through love.
Can you imagine how much more productive our society would be if we just banished some of that and just leaned in with compassion and
Exactly.
understanding?
Well, in Martin Luther King Jr., hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Mhm.
And I think that's the gist of the quote. But when we give each other hate for disagreements, that is emotional immaturity.
Mhm.
and it accomplishes nothing. It just further divides everyone. Versus if I said to you, you know, Amanda, I really actually don't agree with your perspective. And this is
Yeah.
what I see.
Mhm.
But I want you to know that like I haven't walked in your shoes and
Yeah.
you know, you're allowed to have your opinion about it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep living in faith and I'm gonna keep living in my values and hopefully that inspires you to consider my perspective.
Like the 4 agreements. Don't
Yeah.
take everything so personal
Yeah. Don't do it.
because it's
Mhm.
not. It
Yep.
really is not. So I wrote down some things just to keep me on track because it is such a broad topic. But as I said earlier, most relationship problems aren't communication problems, they're emotional regulation problems.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting back to the sum of it though, what is emotional maturity? So emotional maturity is realizing your feelings are valid, but they're not always facts.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I loved that when I read it because I was like, that is so true. Because we can, like you said, develop a story about someone. And it's not the fact of I did this yesterday. I had the VP of operations or whatever she's in charge of send me a message and she was like, do you have 5 minutes to talk to me before this meeting? And I
Oh
started
no.
developing a story in my head and I was like, Amanda, you don't know what she wants. And I was like freaking out. I was like, what? I had a presentation to give to 200 people
Uh-huh.
yesterday and I was like super nervous about it. And I was like, oh, and she was there. She watched me practice. So I was developing this story in my head
Oh
and I
no.
had to take a beat and be like, Amanda, it's okay. Relax. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what she's going to say.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's just like a small example of realizing that you can calm your own feelings by realizing that they are not facts. But something that I learned is that from Antonio, ironically, he's taught me so much. And I think I've probably taught him a lot too, but it's being curious.
Antonio has this way about him that is very open-minded towards others.
Hmm.
And he's pretty like compassionate towards others and their differences. And
Yeah.
I think that's like his greatest strength, honestly. He's
Hmm.
very open to people.
He's very curious.
Very.
He's very extroverted, very curious about people.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to hear some signs of someone being emotionally immature?
Yeah. Yeah. Go for
Okay. I guarantee you're going to think of somebody.
it.
Many people, including yourself, as you actually,
Yeah.
more importantly, think if you have these as I read them.
Hmm.
Okay. Do some self reflection.
That's good. Good tip.
Yeah. Silent treatment, defensiveness, needing to win every argument, blaming everyone else, victim mentality, avoiding hard conversations, passive aggressive behavior, seeking validation constantly, emotional outbursts, running when things get uncomfortable, using therapy language to manipulate people, and making impulsive decisions based on temporary emotions.
Yep.
Yep, I checked many of those
We've all
boxes.
been there. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Um, I had a circumstance in the last couple weeks with an organization, and there have been many emotional reactions that have occurred in this time frame, and now there's a lot of regret going on,
Mm.
because you have this emotional reaction because your emotions are so valid in the moment, and if you're a highly emotional person, it feels like a fact.
Yeah.
Your feelings feel like facts. They feel so
Yeah.
real. They feel all encompassing. And when a person's that highly emotional, it takes a few of those mistakes and then regret to learn in those moments. And I'm one of these people. I've had to learn this. Oh my gosh, my feelings are so overwhelming right now. That means I am not going to take any action until they settle down. And that is
That's wise.
the lesson that I've had to learn. And until I can get myself to a regulated and rational place, I try really hard not to. Now, if you're like in very close relationship with me, like my children, or if I have a partner or those people in my life, I cannot always take that time.
Yeah.
Um, but I really, really learned a lot here. And I do still have moments of like it just feels so big and so overwhelming and I get kind of reactive. But for the most part, a sign of emotional growth and emotional intelligence is just pausing.
Hmm.
If you're one of those people that does damage when they're emotional, Practice a pause.
Yeah.
Don't call back right now.
I agree.
Don't
Or
email right
call your
now.
best friend and talk it out with her.
Yeah, I did this with Amanda this week.
I did that with you. I do that with
Yeah.
you all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that helps kind of balance out and give a different perspective.
Yeah, because that person you're talking to isn't having that emotional reaction.
I've said this before, be careful who you talk to, because there are some friends that'll make it worse, and there are some friends that can help you put a mirror up to your face.
Well, yeah, some friends will be like, burn that bridge down, you know, like, show them who you are. Like, you're a bad bitch, you know, whatever.
There are people like that.
No.
Yeah, so not every emotion deserves immediate action, and I love that. I actually... What?
No. Go ahead. And then
I was thinking about last week, I had something similar to this, and I kind of created a story in my head that was not real. And I had to talk myself out of it and be like, Amanda, you do not know the facts here. You're going down a rabbit hole of thoughts. And I was tired. I was hungry. And I like kind of had to check myself. Like, am I meeting my emotional needs to be on my best? And I was not. So there was something deeper there than just creating stories in my head. Okay, what were you gonna say?
Well, two things now. I will spiral if I'm underslept, undernourished, haven't exercised, or if it's like a day before my period. Those are all the things. And if they all happen at the same time, it's a perfect storm. But so just know your weaknesses, your weak points. And then if you're having a reaction, oh yeah, I probably should just sleep.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need to go to sleep. And then tomorrow I can handle this. What I was going to say is it reminds me of I sent Amanda this like TikTok the other day or YouTube video or something. And it was this woman critiquing the Let Them book.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. It's fake.
It's fake.
But it's a spoof. Funny.
Is that the word, a spoof or a parody? Parody. She was like, I'm not really a fan of like, you know, Mel's book, Let Them or whatever. And she's like, you know what I say? She's like, I wrote a whole book about it. And she was like, I say you headbutt that bitch.
It was so funny.
She was like, I see somebody, they make me mad. She's like, I don't let them. She's like, I go right over there and I headbutt them. And she was like,
she was so aggressive.
Wham, like right in the head. Yeah, I don't like what you said to me. I'm just going to come right over there and crack your head open. Anyway, made me laugh because
it was funny.
So funny. But like Mel's book is basically like, you know, if another person does something you don't like or excludes you, you just have to let them. You have to accept, oh, this happened. This doesn't feel good, you know, but don't like ruminate on it. Let it ruin your life. And this woman's like, no, I'm not going to let anybody do anything to me. I'm going to headbutt them. And it just, I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Cracks me up.
I mean, Mel is onto something though. That is emotional intelligence in allowing people to. But here's it's been a while since I've read the book, so I can't remember the details of it, but to also create boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
But again, don't take everything so personal. Let them and realize that it has nothing to do with you.
Well, and her follow-up to that is let me. So it's like, let them.
They talk about let them.
Yeah,
they never talk about let
them.
Me.
And then she's like, let me do this.
Yes.
So like this person has shown me that they're not trustworthy.
Yeah.
Let them be. Let them be not trustworthy. And let me now remove myself from their lives. Let me now be more cautious in interacting with them.
Yeah.
So like there's two steps to it. Okay.
You don't have to hate them.
This is the reality. Also, I'm now going to take this action, and that's that. We're not villainizing anybody.
Yeah.
We're not creating a story about them. We're just we're observing, we're accepting, and we're adjusting.
Yeah. Something that came to mind as you were talking about the emotional response to things is in the evening, things are more intense.
Yeah.
Feelings are far more intense in the evening.
The moon.
I don't know what it is. So I would avoid conflict in the evening if you can. And that's where I think in the evening, if you can take time just to allow the dust to settle and let emotions kind of calm a little bit, that tends to be a far more productive way to handle things than, because at night, everything is just far more intense. You've had a crazy day. The kids are, you know,
tired.
Who knows what it is.
There's no sunshine.
I'm not a huge fan of go to bed angry, but I am a fan of trying to find a way to resolve
like,
it.
Hey, I love you. We will resolve this. Like, let's just take a breather and we'll come back to it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because things can be so intense during a fight.
Yeah.
Things can be said that are hurtful. I mean, I used to be that person. Oh my gosh, my poor ex-husband. Like, I was reading and doing research on this, and I was like, I need to send him a message. I won't, out of respect for his wife. But
Right.
I just wanted to be like, I was so emotionally immature. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
kinda think about that too sometimes, like, the
Yeah.
things that I would say or how personally I would take things that really weren't about me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
think,
I'll learn.
in perspective, if I would have put myself in his shoes, my ex-husband was a very introverted person, but his
Mhm.
job was very extroverted. So he would come home and be very depleted.
Yeah. He
And
was done.
it was so frustrating for me because I was like, oh, save some energy for me. And he really had nothing to give. But instead, I made it personal. And I would hold on to these feelings and push them down and push them down. And then I would explode.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Have the
he
same
would
pattern.
go silent. And it was just we had a horrible dynamic of how we handled our emotions. It was just not a compatible way.
Yeah, emotional intelligence is really one of those things, it's like a muscle you have to flex. It does get easier to lift the weight of emotions
Yeah.
with time, but it's never really easy. I think in those moments when your emotions are all encompassing. And I also think it's important to note that someone who's been deeply hurt in their lives,
Mm,
if that pain isn't healed, they're going to have a much more like a much harsher emotional reaction.
yeah.
It's kind of like an unhealed wound and someone touches it versus like a scabbed over
Yeah.
wound or a healed wound. So like if I touch you in a spot that's healed, it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But if you have a gaping wound and I touch it, you're going to like pull back, you're going to like
Mhm.
react intensely, you're going to yell, maybe you're going to
Mhm.
scream. And so it's like personality, I don't want to get too far into this, but personality disorders like borderline personality disorder or um things like that where people do have extreme emotional reactions. It often is a result of like a deeply empathetic person
Mhm.
who didn't have emotional intelligence or regulation skills, who was deeply hurt,
Mhm.
abandoned, betrayed, abused,
Mhm.
manipulated, whatever. They went through
Yeah.
a horrible pain. And then it's the paradox of someone who's highly compassionate, highly empathetic, highly open,
Mhm.
someone who's very open, um, so open that that wound is easily touched.
Mhm.
And then when it's touched, that other personality is there that's coming to the surface. And it looks like it like rears its ugly head essentially because all that pain is coming out because that that wound was touched. And so I think a lot of emotional maturity is doing that intentional healing
Mhm.
so that when your pain point is touched, it doesn't have such a strong emotional reaction. You've healed a lot of it.
Absolutely. And also being transparent with your partner on,
Mhm.
hey, this is something I am working on.
Yeah.
This is something that I am working on controlling my response to. But I
Yeah.
want you to know
Yeah.
that I am working on it. And here are some ways around it that you can help me, which I think is really important. Like, there
Mhm.
are some things with Antonio, like, I, for a long time, had a fear of abandonment. And he is very cautious, or he was very cautious when we got into fights, like, hey, I'm not leaving you. So he would help calm my nervous system.
Right, because you have that wound.
Yes.
Right, and I have wounds as well, and so there's certain things that I'm
Yeah.
like, I need you to do this or say this or
Yeah.
help me, like, come back to a center when I have this reaction," because it's just the trauma. Your mind remembers the pain and what it felt like to be left,
Yeah.
what it felt like to be betrayed, whatever it is that you
Mhm.
had experienced,
Yeah, but
so
that trigger can ruin a relationship if you don't heal it.
yeah, the
And I
trigger and the reaction to the trigger.
Yes, yes. So if you don't hold a mirror up to it, you're going to constantly go back to it. Oftentimes people, when they're fighting about the same thing.
Yeah,
And it is a wound
over and over and over.
over and over and over
Yeah,
again. And
yeah,
it's a wound that is just like will not heal. But no one else can heal that for you but yourself.
yeah.
There's no perfect person in the world. Somebody will bring something up.
Well, and you can't really heal
Hmm.
relationship wounds in isolation. You
Yeah.
you kinda have to heal them in relationship. Like,
Yeah,
you have to have
that's
a different
true.
experience.
Yeah.
So, if you do find that partner who's willing to help you work through it and to be delicate with you and around those areas, like that's a really special thing to have.
Yeah. And I think also a lot of people will, when they are triggered and they're dealing with this dysregulation of emotions, instead of finding healthy ways to cope with it, that's where addiction can begin.
Yeah. Why don't you elaborate on that a little bit?
So, it could be, I mean, it really could be anything
Like
like,
escapism, like I'm really sad, I'm really depressed,
mhm.
I'm just going to escape into this video game or this substance or
Yeah, like it's very destructive coping examples. So here are some examples. Impulsive texting. Like you get so mad and you just start like typing, typing,
oh,
typing. Okay.
okay, yeah, I've done that
Cheating,
before. Okay, I haven't, no, not that one.
emotional shutdown,
Uh-huh.
anger outbursts, drinking, doom scrolling, attention seeking, ghosting, gossiping, revenge behavior, jumping into another relationship, overworking, avoiding hard conversations. It can be as, we've also talked about this earlier, porn can also
Mhm.
be an escapism for when someone's overwhelmed. I mean, I think about myself when I'm overwhelmed, I get overstimulated very easily.
Yeah.
And when I am that, I have to find something to calm me down, like going to the gym. Antonio's really good about now, he'll go on walks.
Yeah.
Like I'll notice that he's like too much is going on and he is like, I just need to go on a walk. And he'll
Yeah.
take his rosary and he'll pray and he'll go on a walk.
Oh.
And he is recognizing he's being triggered and he is taking a healthy way to regulate.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people do that. They will
Right.
suppress, they will go on their phones and
The
scroll.
easy button.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
The dopamine,
So,
the quick dopamine button. It's like a
yeah.
rat in a cage, just hitting that button over and over again.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And that's not a healthy way. It's going to create more destructive fallouts
Yeah.
because of that. So, it's really important to just take a beat and not be reactive,
Yep.
right? So,
Yep. I was thinking about this. I think it's kind of this spectrum. Okay. You
mhm,
have highly emotional people,
mhm,
and then you have highly intelligent people.
mhm,
And you can have a little bit of both. You know,
mhm.
you can be emotional and intelligent. But when you get one without the other, so like you
Are
get
we
a
talking about EQ, emotional, or like being sensitive?
not EQ,
Mm,
just highly emotional or like
right.
even highly
Highly sensitive?
sensitive
Mhm.
people. You have HSPs, highly sensitive, and then you have people that are super smart but like socially and emotionally awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, super big
I
spectrum.
saw that in academics a lot. A
Yes.
very, very intelligent people with who are in leadership positions that should have not been in leadership positions.
Well, like
Very smart though.
I just read this. Some highly emotionally intelligent people are excellent leaders and communicators, but they are not especially nurturing or empathetic.
Mm-mm.
So they understand emotion from
Mm.
an intellectual standpoint.
Yeah.
They know how to react, they know how to temper
Mhm.
emotional reactions. They know how to mediate.
Mhm.
They understand that they're like looking at these people, oh, they're having an emotional reaction. Well, this emotional reaction means this and this means
It's like
this.
a
And
computer
yeah, and
system.
this is what I should do to calm it down. And but they don't actually have that nurturing or empathetic
Yeah.
element. And
I had
then
an ex like that and it would drive me
like they're
insane.
psychoanalyzing you, but they're not
It's like a
actually
computer
there with
system. It's like
you.
deep, deep, like it's like it is you're not really there with that person. It's literally like dating a robot.
Right.
It's
But
not fun.
then they said
Very smart.
likewise, deeply empathetic people often unintentionally create chaos because they cannot regulate themselves or
Mhm.
make difficult emotional decisions. Now,
Right.
this means if you're on the other end of the spectrum, you're probably somebody who's super empathetic. Everybody likes you. You're
Yes.
very friendly.
Mhm.
You're very sweet. You're always going out of your way for other people. But then when it comes to making a decision that might hurt someone else or like a boundary, it's very difficult
Mhm.
because you don't have that emotional intelligence. You're afraid to hurt anyone else because you feel their pain. I am on this end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So both ends of the spectrum have to work to come into center. Where if you're on this end over here, you're intellectualizing emotions. And if you're on this end over here,
You're emotionalizing them.
you don't have intellect around your
Yeah.
emotions at all. They're
Yeah.
just so intense like a wave.
And men are more, I think, of the opposite, and women are more emotional. So there's a parallel there that
in general.
yeah.
Well,
In general,
and these
yes.
two people often marry each other.
I know. That's what I was just thinking. Antonio's very intellectual. I'm very emotional. And there were times where we could not understand each other. And he's like, because he's so smart, he would say things and I would emotionalize them. And he would be like, that's not.
I'm just saying a fact, Amanda.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, like, why are you taking this so personally? It's just a fact. Yeah. So the real, I think, emotional intelligence is coming into the center of that spectrum.
Yeah.
Where you can intellectualize emotions and understand what's happening and why I'm having this big reaction. And this is what I should do. And this is what I shouldn't do. And if I don't want this to explode, I should take a pause and I shouldn't take this personally and whatever. So like that person coming over here. And then this person, who's so intellectual about emotions, actually like taking a moment to be like, how does this feel? And what must they be feeling? And like, have like practicing empathy, which is, I think it's actually probably harder to come from intellectual to empathy than it is to come from empathy to intellect. But I think we have to do that work to get to that middle ground.
Yeah. I think a lot of this in what we're saying is that you have to develop self-worth to create that stability as well, emotional stability.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise you're always trying to find worth within your, like, from external factors.
Well, my friend who just went through the breakup,
yeah,
she was talking to me about it.
Oh.
And she said, like,
I like have so many feelings. I feel bad for her.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. But she
Yeah.
said, I don't know why I even feel so bad. Like, he was kind of a terrible boyfriend. Listen. And she's like, but I loved him. She's like, but he didn't do this or this. It was like having like a 50-50 boyfriend. And she was explaining to me all the things she was compromising on just to keep him in her life. And I was like, it sounds like you don't think you deserve better, or like you don't think that you could have better, or that like that you don't think that your needs could be fully met. Like you could find somebody that actually is 100% a boyfriend, not 50% of the time. And I wanted her to really think about that, because I do think that our self-worth really impacts what we're willing to put up with in a relationship. The more I love myself, the less shit I'm willing to put up with.
And the healthier your relationship will be, because you find someone that aligns with you and what you want. Now, nobody is perfect. There are things that in a relationship you can't fix, and you just have to accept about that person.
I had a partner say to me, I asked him, I was like, is it super frustrating, like my standards and like my deal breakers and the things that I know that I need? And he was like, honestly, no, it makes me respect you. And I thought that was really interesting, because in the past I felt bad asking for them.
Yeah.
But like I didn't have self-respect, and so they didn't respect me either. And so now I'm in a place of, no, this is what I need. This is what I want. I'm not joking around about it. Like 100%. This is for real. If you can't do this, you should just go now.
Right.
And I'm like very clear about it. And, this person said like, no, it actually like gives me a layer of respect for you, because you respect yourself enough to walk away and to know what you need.
Yeah. I think we all should have standards to that degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, your standards are nothing crazy.
I don't think so. I think they're pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I don't think they are either.
No. No.
But they are crazy for some.
Yeah.
Some would think they're crazy. My standards are actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
They really are. I require a lot of affection, though. A lot of affection.
That's fair.
I do need that.
I think that also when you're confident, conflict, you don't feel like you have to
It doesn't feel so overwhelming.
You don't have to dominate the conversation either.
Well, and when you have self-worth, you're like, well, if this relationship ends, that would be really sad, but I gotta stay true to myself.
Absolutely.
I gotta stay true.
Yeah, but then you're also not trying to seek validation from the other person to confirm or fix your wound.
Right. Right.
You're just like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what's going on inside of me, and this is, you're looking at it from a totally different lens, instead of just like the previous version of Amanda would have gotten into a fight, and because I had low self-worth, I would have just been like clenching at some type of validation.
You would have made it about you.
Yeah.
And what you need. And
yeah. And honestly, I would say that I did that for a very long time. And I don't even know. I would say even in the last 6 months, I've changed drastically in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And I can see things far more outside my own self. And actually, Antonio was like, "You're a little rigid in some ways."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
I am. I need to think about that. I
Yeah.
need to," and he didn't mean it in a way to put me down, but it was constructive feedback that I needed to hear.
Well, I think if we are raised in any sort of organized religion, we are trained to be very rigid.
Yeah,
So
that's
there is
true.
like a black and white.
Mhm.
Things are black and white. The conversation you and I were just talking about,
100%.
the abortion, the
Mhm.
pro-life, pro-choice, that is very black and white. And so there isn't room for nuance and there isn't
Yeah.
room for perspectives when you're um brought up that way. And so unlearning that is super hard actually.
Yeah.
Because you feel like, well, no, this is right. Like I have proof. It's in the Bible, you know, and then it's like this there is right and wrong, and you're wrong and I'm right, you know.
Yeah.
But like in reality, and people will disagree with this, but no one really knows on many issues. There is nuance in
There's
life.
always gray.
There's so much gray and nuance in life because of people's experiences and what brought them to that place in life. And you're not in their shoes. Like in the Bible says, like, go ahead and pull that little tiny stick out of their eye, but you got a plank in your eye. And he who is without sin can be the first to throw the stone.
We're now a Bible podcast.
Okay, but like for real, I'm going to
No, it's
preach
easy.
because this is
Yeah,
the church gets this wrong.
it does. It really does.
It gets this wrong. Like, we are
Yeah.
not here to judge each other. I am not here to take the tiny stick out of your eye because I got shit.
Yeah.
You got shit.
Nor do I want to. I don't want to be
Love.
around a lot of perfect people.
Love. Love is the answer.
Love is the answer. I
Yep.
agree. So we kind of talked about this in a previous episode, but I think this is really important. Turning trauma into identity can
Oh, yeah.
really, really damage and create a lot of toxicity in relationships.
Your victim story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's all about you. And you have to check your ego.
Mm-hmm.
Our ego is what drives all this conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you're wrong, your feelings are valid, but is it coming from a perspective of like, I need to be right? Or is it coming from a perspective of, I need to validate this story that I've been living?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about that deep.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Wow. This is a deep episode. Um, I think kind of like a general summary of this whole thing is like, what is emotional intelligence and how do you get it
Hmm.
and how do you get there? And emotional intelligence is like understanding what's really going on when you have a fight or when you have a disagreement. It's like, okay, I understand what's really going on here.
And understanding you have a part in it too.
Yes. And then knowing how to respond constructively.
Yes.
So you're not burning it down all the
But
time.
also not always walking on eggshells too, right?
Right. But
There has to be
constructively,
yes,
not just like, I don't, because my feelings are hurt, I now have a free pass to tear you to shreds.
exactly.
That's not emotional intelligence.
Hmm.
It's, I'm hurt. I see what's going on here. This is why she feels this way. This is why I feel this way. It's the ability to intellectualize emotions a little bit
Hmm.
so that you can see, or maybe take a balcony view,
Hmm.
just step up a little bit, look at all the factors at play. Don't be so subjective.
Hmm.
Get outside of yourself a little bit, look at the situation, and then to respond in a constructive way. I think that's the key. It's, I'm not going to cause this person more emotional damage. I'm not going to burn this relationship down. Maybe responding in the most constructive way is, hey, we don't see eye to eye. This experience really hurt my feelings. I need to take a break from our friendship. Maybe that's the response, but that's still very emotionally mature.
Yeah.
Like, it's not being a pushover or not
Hmm.
abandoning yourself, but it is responding in a way that doesn't cause further damage and that is emotionally aware of the situation.
This is why therapists talk about using I statements. This is the very reason why. It's because you're being more cautious on the words that you're saying, and you're avoiding creating such an emotional response where you're attacking someone.
Yeah.
and you're getting out how you feel without creating even more tension in that fight.
Right, I could be like, "Amanda, you are so insensitive, and sometimes
You.
you are just such a mean girl, and I don't know, like, why you're so self-centered and
Yeah.
you." Or I could say,
And
"Hey."
I shut down. I'm not even listening. I'm thinking
Right.
of how I'm going to respond to that.
She defense
Yeah.
mode, boom, boom, boom. Instead,
Yeah.
I could say, "Hey, the way our fight made me feel, I felt really, really sad and I felt really abandoned. And it's really important to me that
Mhm.
we work through this
Mhm.
and that I understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
because I don't want to cause any more damage in our relationship."
And from
That's an
there,
I statement.
absolutely. And from there, I would take accountability.
Yeah.
I would say, I understand. I would reiterate how you feel.
Hmm.
And I would say, I understand that I did this dot 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 and it made you feel like this dot dot dot.
Hmm.
And I am going to work on dot dot dot.
Hmm.
And that is what makes a relationship work is it's not always not I mean, it's not fighting. Relationships will have conflict. What makes them stronger is how you come back together after a conflict
Yeah.
and how you learn more about each other and you put your ego aside and you want to grow
Yeah.
and you want to be a better person
Yeah.
for that other person
Yeah.
and
And compromise. I can give a little and work. I
compromise.
can work here on this and you can work on that. And I
Yeah.
just had a situation with someone I work with where we came away from the conversation with, we're going to work on these three things and I'm going to work on these three things and we're going to do better at
Hmm.
communicating. And like we came away with an agreement and follow through. We're
Yeah.
just following through.
Yeah.
That's how you build trust.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it also has to be the desire too.
Yeah. Yeah. You
You
have to
know?
want it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Antonio and I say every day, like, "I choose you. I
Yeah.
choose you. I choose you." And it is a thing that we have decided that we want to make our relationship work, so we're choosing every single day
Yeah.
to continue to make that relationship work and being very, very thought-provoking in how we are handling situations, how we're coming together in things, and it's this idea that, yeah, even when things are hard, we still choose each other because it's not, they say the honeymoon phase ends after 2 years. So you will have times in relationships, in all relationships, really, where you'll have ups and downs and ups and downs. And it's not abandoning every person that doesn't fit with your mold of how you think everything should be.
Yeah.
It's allowing yourself to reflect on your own wounds, your own past, how you respond to things, accepting other people for who they are and not trying to fix them. And just really, I'm just thinking about this from my own lens, from my own relationships, is that loving someone for exactly who they are, obviously having boundaries, learning about each other, being curious, and just wanting to always level up for that person. I think one of
Mm.
the best relationships that I've had are with people who are constantly also evolving themselves.
And I think humility in your relationship, I've had to say
Yes.
to my partner, like, this is an area that I really struggle
Yeah.
and I need your help. Like, when I'm acting this way, will you point it out to me?
Hmm.
Will you help me grow in this way? And vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's about humility. And the only way to have emotional intelligence is to be able to see your own weaknesses
Yeah.
and how you contributed to the problem. And that's tough when your ego gets in the way.
Yeah.
It really is. I think that it's just the human condition to want to protect our egos.
Yeah. We are conditioned that way because
Mhm.
back in the day, we would have been isolated, ostracized, and that would have meant
Yeah.
death, like
It would
caveman
have
days.
we would have been alone and
Yeah.
the wolves would have eaten us,
Yeah.
bears.
So our brain is wired to protect ourselves, right? So you kind of really have to uncondition that part of you. So here are some things that emotionally mature people do. Okay, so just some things that you can think of when you start feeling uncomfortable in something. It really can be you read a social media post and you start feeling this feeling and you're uncomfortable. Like it could be as minute as that, or it can be
Just
your
block
next fight
them.
with your.
Just block them. Unfollow.
There are some cases,
Snooze.
obviously, but
Snooze.
so pause before you react so you don't have to immediately respond to something. regulate yourself privately. So this is like go into another room, go
Call a
on a
good friend.
walk, go to the gym,
Yep.
call a friend. Yeah. Stay calm under pressure. Don't freak out. Just regulate yourself.
Mhm.
Communicate honestly, but also be kind. Respect boundaries. Admit when you're wrong. Handle criticism better. This is something that I could be better at. Don't gossip or weaponize information. They don't disagree without being, they can disagree without being disrespectful, and they can sit with discomfort without self-destructing.
Yeah.
So it's
That's a
not,
hard one.
yeah, emotional maturity is not perfection. Everyone gets triggered, everyone reacts poorly sometimes, but emotionally mature people reflect, repair, learn, and grow.
I think as you were speaking, the one that I don't think we've touched on very much, but is really, really important
Hmm.
is the ability to sit with your emotions, to
Yes.
not run away from them. And that is
Hmm.
that is maturity.
Or throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Like
Yeah.
a child like runs away from things that are painful and like doesn't have any sort of endurance for them.
Well, it comes with your attachment style.
Becoming
Mm. Yeah.
older and more mature means that you understand that feelings are fleeting and that it's going to pass. And
Yeah.
I can endure this and I can endure this discomfort.
Is it
And
like 90 seconds that emotions flow through you? It might be even less than
I
that.
think it's less if you feel it fully.
Yeah.
But if you like
So it will
cite,
go.
if you like filter it through, it takes a very long time and it keeps popping back up. And
Hmm.
but if you just feel what you're feeling and you just let yourself feel it and you don't have that cowardice around your emotions, you're not afraid of them. That is maturity
Yeah.
as well. Just don't unleash it on somebody. Like you feel it. Take responsibility for what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Having a secure attachment style is also emotional maturity.
Yes, it is.
Hmm.
It is. That's a hard one
So if
too.
you're avoidant, if you're anxious, there is an element of emotional immaturity there.
Yes.
And it's fine. It's okay. You can learn from that. You can hold a mirror up to yourself
You can
and
become a secure
yeah,
partner. You can
absolutely.
grow into.
Yeah. Yeah. I am so much more secure, but I used to be incredibly anxious.
Yeah.
And I think that the right partner will help you develop that security too, because they will help you, they'll be patient with you. They'll allow you time to reflect and help you cope through those times.
Yeah.
Now you still have to do the work, but
But having a supportive partner is very important.
it's underrated. Yeah.
Yeah, very important. All right, it's been about an hour on here.
Wow, look at
I
us.
know, I gotta get
So
going.
much to talk about. So, yes, we're on YouTube, so I will put the link below. You can watch us. You can Oh, I'm so happy. You can please subscribe and share so that we can reach more people. And we just really appreciate you listening and all your support. And if you have any suggestions for topics, we are all ears.
We're here. We're here for it. We're gonna need more
Yeah.
topics. We're not gonna stop.
No.
So, and
The-
we can't stop. Oh, sorry. It's a Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA. That song never gets old, by the way. We
No.
should outro with it. There's a party in the, when you put the music in.
I don't you have to get some rights and pay money for all that. So sorry guys, you're gonna have to listen to this exit.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.